Kenneth Witt, and welcome to Gundog Nation. Gundog Nation is much more than a podcast. It's a movement to build a community of people around the world that like to watch a well-trained dog do what it's bred to do. Also, we want to get our youth involved into the sport of gun dogs, whether it be hunting, sport, or competition. We want to build a community of people united to preserve our gun dog heritage and to be better gun dog owners. Tune in to each weekly episode and learn about training, dog health, wellness, and nutrition. We will also offer tips for hunting with dogs and for competition, hunt tests, field trials, and other dog sports that involve gun dogs. Please go to our website, gundognation.com, and subscribe to our email list. We will keep you informed weekly with podcasts that are coming out. We also will be providing newsletters with training tips and health tips for your dog. You can also go to patreon.com/Gundog Nation and become a member. There's different levels of membership on there. Just go check that out. Also, would like to thank Sean Brock for providing the music for this show. The introduction and the outro is Sean Brock. He played everything on there except the banjo by Scott Vestal and the dobro by Jerry Douglas. Sean is a neighbor of mine from over in Harlan, Kentucky. I'm just across the mountain in Hyden, Kentucky, and he's a super talented guy. But most of all, I want you guys to check out the Creekers. They are also from Hyden, Kentucky, and this is an up-and-coming bluegrass and country band, and these guys are hot. They're all over TikTok and YouTube. You will hear these guys because in a year or so, they will be on the radio. They are very talented. Their videos are going viral on the net. These boys are family. Two of the lead singers, one grew up with my daughters, and the other one is my cousin's son, so he's family. But check them out. Check out the Creekers. Also, last but not least, if you want to buy a hat, koozie, t-shirt, or even gun dog supplies, go to shopgundognation.com and you can purchase any of those items. Thank you so much for listening. It's a privilege to have people that want to put up with me talking about dogs all the time. I actually enjoy what I do, and I'm so glad to have this opportunity, and thank you. Hey everybody, Kenneth Witt, the Gundog Nation podcast, coming to you today from Fort McKavett, Texas. It's just a little bit before Christmas when we're recording this. I've been chasing this lady down for a while. I think she's probably the number one amateur in the SRS series for sure. I don't know if that's official, but from what I've seen, everything I follow, you have to be the number one amateur. Also, it's kind of exciting. I've got the youngest podcast guest I've ever had on the show, and I've been doing this for a year. Jack, you're the youngest person I've ever had on my show. So how old are you?
I'm 9.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm sitting here trying to think. I've had 60, I don't know, I've done about 70-some episodes. Yeah, Jack, you're the youngest. So what made you want to get on this podcast today? You're awful brave, by the way. I appreciate your confidence.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was outside and Miss Leah asked me if I wanted to join it, and I was like, sure, because I like talking about dogs.
Well, I love that. Well, listen, Jack, and this is what we were going to do today, but I want to talk to you a second. There's a high school, and it's called Gordon Lee High School in Georgia, right across from Chattanooga. I can't think of that town right now to save my life. But to my knowledge, they're the only high school or public school anywhere that I know of that has a gun dog team. And they do hunt tests and stuff like Leah does. Of course, they don't do field trials or SRS, but so you're in Georgia, right?
Yes, sir.
You need to try to get that at your school. I think that's great, and get people like your age involved, boys and girls both.
Yes, sir. I'll try.
Have you tried to do a hunt test before?
Yes, sir. I've run a bunch.
Really?
Yeah, where we go, there's a youth thing, and they're started. I used to do started, but then about a month or two ago, they started this youth thing, and I was like, well, I'll try that. It's pretty fun.
Really? I love this. Are there other kids your age doing it?
Yes, sir. It's all the youth kids.
How many do you have? Do you know?
There's normally about 15, maybe.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Now, what town are y'all located in?
We're in Dublin, Georgia.
Okay. Dublin, Georgia. I know where that's at. How far? Well, I know rough. I've been through there. I was in the Army a long, long time ago, Fort Benning. How far are y'all from Alabama?
About 4 hours.
Okay. Nice. Well, I'm gonna be in Tennessee living soon. I'll be a lot closer than I'm way far away from y'all now. I'm in West Texas, but here in about a month I will be in Tennessee near Nashville. Well, That's great. You know what I may have to do sometime, Jack, is have a podcast with just you and maybe some of the kids. Do you have adults that help you guys, like a coach?
Yes, sir. There's always someone willing to help.
Nice. And do you have a training grounds that you all go to all the time, or do you do it in different places?
They're mostly the same places.
Okay. Now, is that your main hobby, or do you have other hobbies?
That's one of my main ones.
I love it. I was a nerdy dog kid. I love dogs.
The equipment on the side.
On the side, I help my dad with his equipment business.
Okay, so you're a busy young man for a 9-year-old.
Yes, sir. There's a lot.
Now, when Leah goes to these big competitions, do you go with her? Ever go out and watch her?
I go sometimes. They're pretty cool because she does really well with Kane.
She does real well. Yes, she does. I wish I was half that good. All right. Well, Jack, you stay right there. I'm gonna ask Miss Leah some questions, and I'm gonna, anytime you want to chime in, you just let me know.
Okay.
All right, because I still want to talk to you. All right. All right. So, Leah, I guess since we're starting off, we got all distracted. It's my fault. I get on tangents. Introduce yourself for the listeners, please.
Yes, sir. So my name is Leah Spivey. I'm from Dublin, Georgia, and born and raised here. And this is Jack. This is actually Justin Hergert's son. Justin is my dog trainer, and him and his wife they're not just friends, they're family to me. And Jack's my buddy, and we go deer hunting and dog training and all kind of stuff together. So he's one of my good luck charms, so I wanted to have him on today with me.
Now, that makes a lot of sense. Now, Jack, I know why you're so into dogs.
Yes, sir.
I might get you giving me some lessons. How about that?
I'll try.
I bet you could teach me some things. I promise you. So, Lee, never ask a woman her age, but how long have you been doing this?
So I've been into let's just say the dog deal probably really my entire life. I kind of got started out in younger age. I'm 33. I don't mind telling you. I'm 33 years old. I've been messing with dogs my entire life. Kind of got that from my stepdad. My stepdad was big into coon dogs and squirrel dogs and anything you could do with a dog, right? Yeah. And that's kind of where my passion for it developed. And then went duck hunting and obviously, watched a retriever work and was like, man, this is great. Got my first real retriever when I was 16 years old. My parents gave him to me for Christmas. And that dog was with me. His name was Trig. He was with me for 14 years and went through all stages of life for me. And then he just passed away about 3 years ago. But in the meantime, kind of small town, and we started a hunt test, HRC club here in Dublin. Lane Blanchett, Elaine Mitchell, and all them kind of got together, formed that. And I was like, well, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to go all the way. And then that's where Kane came about, and that the journey with me and Kane and really getting into this dog retriever world started for me about 8 years ago. Okay,
wow. Well, I congratulate you. When you put your head to something and did it, I actually am trying to do that. I'm way older than you too, Leah, but I want to take a dog to the Grand. I'm a long way from doing that, but that's my goal. So I'm going to pick your brain off the air. So yeah, Leah, I'm like you. I kind of grew up, I'm from Southeast Kentucky. So I grew up in Appalachia, the mountains kind of, around squirrel dogs. I didn't coon hunt. I went with my friends at coon. I didn't have coon dogs, but I hunted with my buddies on occasion that coon hunted. And then I had rabbit dogs for a while, had some squirrel dogs for a while. Love it. But you and I both know, and I'm sure Jack probably knows this too, that retriever world's a whole different. It's nothing like running hounds. You got a dog, it's got drive, you drop tailgate and let her roll. That retriever training's a whole different beast, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Well, I'll just tell you real quick, can't really take a whole lot of credit for the groundwork and basics and really training any of my dogs. I mean, my dogs live here at the Southern Way Kennel most of the year. Obviously, I'm not real far because I'm right here at the kennel too. Literally, the apartment is attached to the kennels. But I really only go out and kind of train 2 to 3 days a week with Justin and Owen Hall and one of my best friends, Mr. Kevin Baggett. But as far as I was on another podcast with a guy named Chris Rudd, and I told him, I said, I'm more like the jockey. I said, or the if you like that movie Days of Thunder, the cold trickle, where I'll tell you what's going on with the car, and then you kind of go fix it type deal. But
just a driver, I get it.
That's right.
And I did listen. I try to listen to all Chris's podcasts. I've had him on. He was one of my first guests, probably first or second guest. And I listened to your whole podcast, and I loved how you're extremely modest, but you were clear to make it plain that you get help, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? I mean,
oh no, sir. I believe in giving credit where credit is due, and Southern Way Kennels, Justin, Owen, and all of them, they deserve a lot of credit, because there's no way that I would be here without them today. And I'm telling you, I'm not ashamed to say it. I don't get me wrong. Now I spend a lot of time out in the field and the traveling, and you got to go learn too. But I mean, they had to train me as well, not just the dog. I'm sure I've given them all some gray hairs, but
But Leah, and Jack, you've run hunt tests too, just like me. Heck, I'm about, you may be above my level at the hunt test world, but handling a dog at a hunt test or a SRS, that's not easy.
No, I think a lot of people, they ask me a lot of times going to an SRS, what draws you to the SRS? First off, it's a team sport, and anyone who thinks in my mind that they can go up there and just drive a car, no. There's so much more that I look at things with a whole new lens now. Never 3 years ago was I thinking, okay, I should line my dog up a little more left. There's a crosswind coming from left to right. Is he going to shoulder the wind? Is he not? These are things that you need to pay attention to in training. I know Kane is a very cheaty dog. Sometimes you go up there and they do the exact opposite of what you think they're going to do. I mean, we're all human. They're going to make mistakes. We're going to make mistakes. There are times that Kane has carried me through many trials, and there are times where I feel like I've helped him in situations where we just lean on each other.
Yeah. I mean, Leah, I'm about ashamed to say this. I haven't been to an SRS yet. I stay so busy, because I work too. But I went and spent 3 days back in the summer, late summer, with Clark Kington, just watching him train, really. And he was preparing for an SRS that very weekend coming up. It was in August. And I don't know how they get dogs. That's some complex stuff. Hello, this is Kenneth Witt with Gundog Nation, and I've got to tell you guys about something that I've gotten hooked on lately. It's Faux-licious. These are gourmet instant pho and ramen bowls that actually taste like the real deal. When I'm out in the field all day and the last thing I want is to settle for bland camp food, Faux-licious is what I go to. It's authentic, the flavor, it's real ingredients. It's ready in just minutes. It's perfect for hunters, fishermen, or anyone on the go. And you can get them over 1,900 Walmarts nationwide, your local HEB here in Texas. Or you can just go online at fauxlicious.com. Trust me, once you try it, you'll keep a few stocked in your bag, in your backpack, or for your next adventure. I just want to say this. I want to add this to this commercial because I know the owners of this company. They've hunted on my ranch. Joseph, he and I were actually met in Colorado on a hunting trip that was a real adventure. They are true hunters. They've hunted at the ranch, and I've hunted with them. And Anna, she is just amazing. She's the one that came up with this idea. They were both on Shark Tank. They are amazing people. So I love seeing people like this have a business. And I just had to say that in addition to the commercial because I really believe in the product and I believe in the people that made the product. Be sure and go to fauxlicious.com or go to Walmart or HEB and try their product. I promise you will like it.
A lot of time, a lot of line time. And I tell people all the time, I've said this, you're probably the second or third podcast I'll say this on, but my first 5 SRSs I ever went to, I went out in the first series.
Yeah.
And I'm the type that when I get something in my head, I'm not going to let it, I don't want to be a failure. I don't want it to beat me. So there's no, failure is not an option. There are only opportunities in learning, and we never lose because every time we step to the line, we're learning something new.
Now, Jack, I'm sure I know this answer, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Do you have goals of going to the SRS with your own dog?
Yes, sir.
How far? And you're getting ready to start season tests, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, but you haven't done one yet.
No, sir.
But you've got titles in the started level, haven't you?
Yes, sir.
Nice. Do you do AKC or just HRC? I mean,
HRC.
okay. Now, does he do AKC stuff too, or just HRC?
He does all of it.
Okay. I've Leah, you said those names, Kevin Baggett and his dad's name, and I know all those names. I just don't know the people. I haven't got to meet them yet, but I've heard their names many times.
Yes, sir.
Business, yeah.
We are a very tight group, I would say. I mean, I see Mr. Kevin and Justin and Owen and all them every day. I mean, we're not just. I don't feel like a client. I feel like family, and I think that's the experience you get when you come around with our group. And I'm very blessed to have those people in my life.
It pays, doesn't it? I feel the same way, Leah. Like this podcast helps me meet people like you, people like Jack, and I learn from people like both of y'all. Every day, and I'll call and I probably aggravate Clark Kington to death, with questions, and not just him, but lots of Brody Best, a lot of people like that, and it's just it's a good community, isn't it?
Yes, sir. I would not have half the friends I have if it wasn't for my dog.
I can't agree with you more. This podcast has been such a privilege for me to get to meet so many nice people. I've even been overseas and met people through this, and it's so fun. I mean, yeah, Jack, stay at it. You already see. I know your dad's a pro, but I think that at your age, there's nothing better that you could get into. That's just my opinion. I'm not your parent, but I do have 4 kids. But I think it's so nice that you're interested in this sport. And Jack, it's people your age, when old guys like me are dead and gone, that you got to keep this going on, right? You got to carry on the tradition.
Yes, sir. I try. I started when I was about 4 or 5. He used to do it a lot, and then he showed me, and I started, and that's how it all got started.
I love it. Now, do you play sports or anything in school, or are you strictly working your sports, the dogs?
That I do have other sports, but dogs and equipment are my main ones.
Nice. Well, I'm impressed. You act like a man way above his age.
I came home yesterday, and when I came home, he was across the road running a little 35 mini excavator by himself, loading a wood pile.
That's amazing. It's hard to get anybody to work, and here you're 9 years old working. That's pretty nice. I like it. Leah, let's look at. I want to go over some of your statistics, like how, if you know all this. Heck, you may not. No, I bet you.
I'll give it my best guess if I don't know. How about that?
That sounds perfect. How many SRSs have you titled in or placed in, I should say?
Oof. That's a great question. If I'm going to guess on how many SRSs I have placed in, just this past year, let's just use 2025. How about that?
Okay.
Because I've only heavily been running Kane for the last 2 years.
Okay.
And to answer your question from earlier, so I was the amateur team of the year, Kane and I, for 2025 and for 2024. I have gotten asked a lot, are you going to go for a three-peat? I never start out the year with that. I just promise Kane that as long as you do good, I'll take you wherever you need to go. And that's the code we kind of live by. But for 2025, I ran 15 events. And out of 15 events, I won 7 of the 15. And I only did not place in 2 of them.
That's amazing. What's the farthest you've had to travel for an event?
Ooh, so this year I was all the way up in Wisconsin. So that's about 14, 15 hours. Went to Missouri, to the Habitat Flats. Have you ever been there?
No, I know it's a great hunting place. Actually, so I was at Clark's the week after the following Monday after Habitat Flats.
Okay, so I will tell you this. I'm gonna give them a little shout out on your podcast. That was probably my favorite event of the year. Jason and them were very good about hospitality and allowing people to use their lodge and stuff. So thank you, Mr. Jason. I voted for it as my favorite event of the year. When they did their survey to see how things went.
Yeah.
But all in all, you know, you go to these things, you see the same people, you see how people are running their event. We host an event here in February. It's one of the earlier ones in the year, so a lot of people are not back full swing, fully training yet.
Yes.
But I think that the SRS, if we're just talking about the SRS itself, has really blown up with more and more events, and I think more and more exposure. And I think Miss Shannon and her team do a really good job of marketing and getting it out there. I mean, their media and marketing is just really, 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 really impressive. You know, this year she's teamed up with Purina. So this year, whenever we won, last year was Eukanuba, so we're the Eukanuba Team of the Year. This year it's Purina Pro Plan Team of the Year. So shout out to Ray Voigt and Pat Burns and those folks over at Purina. Just got my pallet of dog food. Appreciate that. So
yeah, I'm supposed to get some today. Ray Voigt's the man. I love that guy. But no, and I use Purina too. Well, so I want to ask you and Jack both this question. Do y'all, first of all, are you hunters?
Absolutely.
Yep, all the time.
And do y'all get time to hunt?
Not as much as I would like. Jack, I think you've been more duck hunting this year than I have. I've only got to go once.
I've been maybe like 4 times, 3 or 4.
Where's your favorite place to hunt?
There's a special place down. Well, last year we went to Oklahoma and there was tons of ducks. This year we went and we only shot about 2. So, and then we tried someplace new. It was really good.
You know, I've heard Oklahoma is really good. That's one of the states I haven't hunted ducks in. I've turkey hunted stuff up there, but never duck. I heard it's pretty good. But you said it was a little slow this year?
It can be really fast and it can be really slow.
Yeah.
Said like a true duck hunter.
Yeah, that's right. Well, do y'all do any other type of bird hunting? Do you do upland birds like quail or anything?
We do pheasant.
Yeah.
So we do pheasant and quail, and then just recently, this year, Jack and I went hunting together. We hunted solid for about 2 weeks, and Jack said he wanted to get a shoulder mount, and so that was our goal, was to get him on a shoulder mount deer. And funny story, we hunted in a one-man stand, so he had to sit in my lap for several days.
That's rough.
We could see the deer on the bucks, and I was like, just be patient, and I'll give it to you. He hunted his heart out. He stuck out. He went with me in the mornings and the afternoons, and then right before school started back after the fall break, I was like, oh gosh, if we don't get it this weekend, we're toast. And then the last evening, this deer come walking out, and I told him, I said, as soon as he quits walking and drops his head, you lay the hammer down on him. You got him a 175-yard shot with a 243. I said, oh my gosh, dropped him.
Shooting. How big was he?
He was a broken 8-point.
Okay. Nothing wrong with that. Was it in Georgia?
Yes, sir.
Now, do y'all have pretty good sized deer in Georgia?
Yeah, we got big sized deer.
No. I've never hunted Georgia. I deer hunted heavy. I don't get to deer hunt like I used to, but it's fun, isn't it?
Yes, sir. The funny thing was when there was a 7-point behind us where we had not planned on shooting at. There was an 8-point, and then that's when the 7 comes running across the field, and that's when he stopped for 2 seconds, and I dropped him.
Did you get nervous?
I kind of get nervous because I really don't shoot that 243 ever.
That's even harder than that you wasn't used to. You probably got more nervous after you shot it, didn't you? And excitement.
I really did. It was the last deer I shot. He went out in the pine trees. This one I dropped it.
You didn't. That's the best kind. You want to track them.
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah.
Jack, did you field dress it?
I did.
You did?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we took it to the processor.
Yep.
Wow. But you field dressed him.
It was very interesting.
I love it. My oldest son has killed one, or my youngest son. Actually, both my boys have shot deer. But my oldest one, he hunted once and shot a deer and never went back again. And my younger son loves to, but he's in college and working, and we just don't get to go. We haven't in a long time. But he didn't field dress the first one. He made me do it. So now we talked about how many you've been in, that you finished in 7 out of 15 that you placed. How many first places do you have?
No, that was 7 wins.
7 wins? Oh, gosh. Oh, my gosh. I kept thinking you placed. Oh, my gosh.
No, sir, I had 7 wins, and I would proudly showcase them.
Oh, my gosh. That is impressive. So,
I'm on, if it's all right if I say this real quick,
Yeah.
I have a lot of people that ask me all the time, and while I'm at this point, I also want to give my boss, John Glockner and Kylie, who I work for, a big shout out and thank you, because obviously when John hired me, he said, I know the understanding of how much you love the dogs and all. And he's like, I'll work with you on it. And so, perfect. Thank you. And that's being an amateur and trying to work and train and do things like that. That's a lot on a person. And now you're taking vacation days. And that's what I do. I burn all my vacation. I don't spend my vacations on a beach or here or there. I spend my vacations sucking down white monsters and hitting the road for 9-10 hours and then barely sleeping, running dogs, and then going home, cleaning clothes, packing, going again the next weekend. And I love it. I know it's crazy. I'm obsessed with it. But a lot of people ask me all the time, why do you run so much? And I'll tell you, I think Kane is my once in a lifetime dog. And if I didn't do what I'm doing with him now, I feel like it wouldn't be justice for all the time he's put in training as well.
That's true.
And if you get an animal that is a once in a lifetime dog, why would you not want to go out there and just soak it all in every minute of it?
You're right. And I didn't understand, Leah, the hours it takes to make a SRS dog until I went up there and watched, Clark there for a few days. It's unbelievable, the time. Do you have aspirations on taking your own dog start to finish training and competing? Or is that just not your thing?
That's not my thing.
I get it.
I'm not saying now I love going and watching and checking in, and like I have some younger dogs in the program now. One that's a year old, another one that's 2 years old, and some that are a little older, but the year old and the 2-year-old dog, I'm not necessarily hands on with them right now, but I am going and watching them be built.
Okay.
I'm not physically putting my hands on them quite yet, but in order to drive the car, I need to know how the car is going to tick, Yeah.
And I noticed that you, on your social media, Facebook, I guess, mainly, you post breedings on there. Are you involved in breedings, or is it just breedings of friends, or do you breed yourself?
No, sir, I don't own any females, so I only own the stud dogs. And So when you see a litter announcement come out that I post, I'm just helping. I would love, like, the most recent one is a Kane, Georgia breeding. And a gentleman from Canada named Flavio Petroza. He drove down from Canada. Great guy. And I told him, I said, hey, listen, whenever confirmed pregnancy, send me the stuff. I want to help you sell these puppies, because I want to see some Kane puppies out there. I want to see what they're capable of. Are they? And I now own one. Michael Dimmer bred his dog Dory and Kane at the time, and I thought it was a great cross. And I said, hey, look, I would love to have one. And then at the time, I was like, man, I can't really, I don't really have a spot for one. Well, then Justin and Kevin Baggett gave them to me as a gift, as a surprise at the Crown last year.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Well, let me ask you this, how did you end up with Kane? Did you buy it as a pup, or how'd that happen?
So Kane, whenever I was telling you earlier about starting an HRC club here in town, just so happens at the time Elaine Mitchell had a litter that was being born, and Elaine is a client of Stephen Durance's, and I met her through forming this club. And she's like, "Hey, I'm having some puppies," and I was like, "Oh, if we're gonna do this, let's just start over. Let's start fresh." Because Trig I had trained myself, but he very basic hunting dog, no whistle sit or anything like that. Just go get them. Didn't really know what I was doing, kind of thing. Then I started seeing all these other dogs, and I'm like, "Ooh, I want one of those," And but Kane is off of her breeding, so he's born an hour from Dublin.
Okay.
And a lot of people ask, "Where'd you get the name?" Murky Creek's Insane Hurricane. Well, Kane was born during the middle of a hurricane.
Okay.
And so that's kind of where that came from.
That's a cool name. I like that name. I was going to ask you something, and you got me thinking about dog breedings. I just remember reading that breeding that you had posted. Leah, what would you do as a competitor, as a handler, or maybe you have done already, to encourage other ladies to get into the sport, young or old?
Young or old, I think the biggest thing is that, and people say coming into this that the sport is intimidating, and I don't disagree whatsoever. You go and you watch one and you start seeing poison birds and stuff like that, and you're like, whoa,
Yes.
I think the biggest thing to remember is just there's no such thing as failing. As long as you can get that in your mind, that just because you step up there to the line and you don't make it to the finals, that does not mean that you should give up. That means that we should go back to the drawing board. Let's figure out where the gaps are, and let's continue to move forward. In my mind, you are only a failure if you give up on yourself.
Amen to that. Do you, every time I look on social media during the season, I see you on there winning something. I mean, it's like every time I turn around, that has to have gotten you. Surely you've got stories of some lady, young or old, that's reached out to you and said, "Hey, I've seen you're so successful in this sport. It inspires me." Has anyone done that to you?
I've had a few folks reach out, but I think the main thing that I felt that I had the biggest impact on as far as fostering the youth to want to get in and join was SRS hosts an event each year called the SRS University.
Yeah.
And it is for kids to come, and they get to bring a coach, and they can run any dog, pro or am-owned dog. I was very blessed to get asked about judging that event, and it was held down at Mossy Pond, and Mossy Pond's hospitality for that event was just, it was amazing. But Shannon and Matt Emerson and them were there, and I've coached a kid before, but this time I was sitting in the judge's chair. And so watching these kids come up and, trying to listen to a coach and then do this, that takes a lot of courage. And so the biggest thing I felt like I could do at that event was, let's don't get me wrong, I want them to get a taste of what it's really like. And I felt my co-judge was Hunter Lamar, who was he's won SRS University. And so I feel like we wanted it to be the real deal, but I also wanted to take the time to encourage the kids, like, hey, don't stop here. And then I think another way, not me, I can't take credit for it, but where I get to talk to people about what I do is the youth event, like that Jackson at our hunt test, where these little kids are coming up and they're running dogs and we're talking about it, and you let them run. Like Jack ran Kane on a monster blind. That would be like an SRS level field trial blind. You let them, letting them get involved, I think, is the biggest thing. If you ever give someone a dog that can handle and do the things like the Clark Kennington's dogs do, or the Luke Coors, or Justin Hergert's, or Stephen Durrance, if they ever get in the car and get to drive it, I think that's the best way for encouragement.
Hey, it's Kenneth Witt with the Gundog Nation podcast, and I'm very proud to have as a new sponsor Cable Gangs. That's spelled Gangz. Brendan Landry at Cable Gangs has developed in my opinion, and I'm a customer, the best tie-out systems on the market. They're easy to pack, easy to store. They can coil up just like an extension cord. They use premium galvanized steel cable coated with durable UV-resistant PVC coating. Brandon can make custom products, anything you want that's related to a dog tie-out system or a cable system or a way to safely secure your dog. They've even made a system that works with a bicycle so you can go and exercise your bicycles and have your dog running along with you. It would be impossible for me to describe to you all the different custom applications they have, so just go to their website at cablegangs.com and check it out. But also, they make dog tie-outs, a way to safely secure your dog if you're at a field trial, a hunt test, coonhound competition, whatever that might be, beagles. These guys make the best product on the market. Check it out for yourself, cablegangs.com. Hey, it's Kenneth Witt with the Gundog Nation podcast, and we are so proud to be partnered with the National Shoot to Retrieve Association, also known as NASTRA. NASTRA has a common love for producing the best bird dogs possible. It's a great community that builds and bonds everlasting friendships. I've actually got to meet a lot of the NASTRA members who's taken me hunting and some other grouse hunting and stuff in different places. So I can honestly say I'm a member, and I'm proud to be partnered with them. NASTRA hosts national and regional field trials that emphasize the working ability of bird dogs. They have been around for over 50 years. There's a reason that NASTRA has been around that long. Please check them out at www.nstra.org and belong and support your local NASTRA club. They do have national and regional events, and it's a good place to help learn to be a better dog trainer, a better dog owner, and to compete with your bird dog. Thank you.
Yeah, I like that. It's funny. One of the things that I try to do, what little bit influence I have, which is very little, but is to get, more people involved. Number one, ladies, older, younger, but youth. And now I've got both you guys right here in front of me today. So this is perfect. This is a sign that, times are changing, and maybe we're going to see more and more young people like Jack, more and more ladies involved as well. And I just love it. I think it's neat. And
I tell you, I got to go. They had the National Open Retriever Championship in Smithville, Georgia, I believe it was. So I rode over there for a day and got to see. And, it's interesting that you say that, because whenever I pulled up, I rode down there with Justin and we watched the 5th series. And I looked around and I was like, there are a lot of women that are involved in field trials, a lot. And so it is puzzling a little bit to like, hey, how come, why don't you come over here and try this game? And I compete in field trials, and that's not a game I'm real successful at, but it's one I'm not going to quite give up on. I don't intend on giving up. I think in order to have an SRS dog, you have to dabble in all games.
Yes.
In order to create that machine. But there are a lot of women involved in that, but they're not. The younger generation is very, very important in fostering that, because I feel like if we don't, then the sports, like you said, they're gonna wean off, and I don't want that to happen.
Me either. That's anytime I can cover someone, new. There's all kinds of guys my age in the sport. Anytime I can have somebody on here that's not in my demographic, I want to do that. But yeah, no, I love it. What's in store for 2026 for Leah Spivey?
So 2026 for me is going to start in January. The first SRS of the season is, I believe, January 23rd through the 25th in Louisiana. So I'll start there. And then after that, I plan on running 3 or 4 more, but I always say that. And then the next thing you know, I'll tell you this much, and this is me being just totally honest. I'm going to go to any one of them I can financially go to. Financially, if I can go do it, I plan on being there.
I like that. No, I don't know. I know what it asks you is, what's your day job, if you don't mind me asking?
Sure. So I'm a regional manager for a company called Kylie, a family of companies. They're based out of New Jersey. Matter of fact, I was just up there this past weekend for our corporate Christmas party. I've never been to Atlantic City, so that was fun.
I've never been in New Jersey. And I've been all.
I hadn't been that far north either, and so as far as on that side of the coast, and that was very interesting to go hang out there. Jersey Shore got to meet South Georgia, so because I went wearing my cowgirl hat and everything, boots. Oh no, so I had a big time. But no, I manage. The best way to do it is just I project manage, and so like we build landfills. We're very big into wastewater treatment, belt presses for sludge. I joke a lot of times when people ask me what I do, and I say I specialize in DNA, damn near anything. We won't really tell you no. Yeah. So
I'll have to steal that one now. I like that. Jack, what about you for 2026? What do you want to do in the dog world?
My plan is to keep at it because in about 3 or 4 years, I'm not sure how many, but in a couple years, I'll have a gun license so I can do season.
I like that. I forgot. That's right. The season I forgot about that. I wasn't thinking about that. You could do AKC, I guess, but no, you can't. Yeah. That's Jack. I think they should have a youth season or something, don't you, Leah?
Yes.
Jack, where they can still compete without. I don't know. Anyway, I guess they legally. I don't know. And I'm an attorney, but I don't know the law on that. I don't guess youth can hunt and hold a gun and shoot a gun, but
with
I guess
an adult,
it's a liability issue.
I'm not real sure.
Yeah. So Jack, you don't know how old you have to be to do that yet, do you?
I think it's like 12, I'm guessing.
Okay, that sounds about right. I have to go look that up. I don't know the answer to that either.
I mean, they should do season for like started, but all they got to do is just get someone to stand right behind you.
Yeah. That's right. That'd be the perfect solution, sounds like to me. Jack, do you train like step by step, start from scratch, puppy train? Have you ever done that yet?
Not yet, but I do train puppies, not from like young all the way to old, but I'll run some dogs and I'll practice.
Yeah.
A lot of our dogs that are very good, I can use them for training.
Let me ask you this. I'm going to ask you both this. What's the smartest dog you've ever been around, Jack?
The smartest dog to me would probably be Chief or Kane.
Okay. Leah, did he steal your answer?
I'm going to give a dual answer, if that's all right.
Yep.
Obviously, I think Kane, and then I really thought you were going to say Max there.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think about Max.
I put you on the spot. That's what it was, Jack. Caught you off guard.
Max is a really good dog. He's old. I use him. I go out with him every now and then. He's really old. Pretty soon he'll have his last breath, but he's really old. He's a good dog, though.
How old is he?
Max is 11.
Okay.
Max is actually the first dog that I got to run in an SRS before my own dog. Justin let me run. His name is Reed Creek's Maximum Destruction. And his first time I ever placed with him I got a third. And so that really kind of sparked it for me. And so Max is Jack's dog. And that's why I'm just real shocked that you must really like Kane these days. So.
I got off track.
Yeah, I got him. I caught him off guard. That's what it was. Now, I don't know. I should know this, but I don't know Georgia's hunting season. When does duck season close in there? Do y'all have much duck hunting? I should ask that.
It's around deer hunting.
Okay.
It's from the end of January.
Okay.
It's in, yeah.
Are there some good places to duck hunt in Georgia?
There's a bunch of good places. if you go with the right people, you'll get some good ducks.
That's you found out the secret already. That's it. Have y'all? Is either one of y'all? This past weekend was the first time I ever got to hunt flooded timber. Jack and Leah, have you ever done that before?
So yes, sir.
Yes, sir, we have.
What's your favorite way to duck hunt? Is it flooded timber, or do you like hunting in a blind?
I've done both ways. It's nice sitting in. When we went in Oklahoma, we don't really care about bringing all that stuff. We just find somewhere and sit down and get blinds, and we're good.
Yeah, I like that too. So how many dogs? Now, Leah, you live there at where the kennel is, correct?
Yes, sir. I could walk 20 feet and go put my hands on my dogs that are in there. But I have 6. I have 6 that live here at the kennel. Yes, sir. Kane gets a lot of the attention, but I have another one. His name's Buzz, and I've qualified him for the crown for the last 2 years, and he's just consistency is big whenever you are going. When a dog's got to perform really, really well for several series, you need one that's going to be consistent. And sometimes mental pressure, not for the handler and for the dog. It weighs a lot. You go up there and you start playing in strategy, and strategy's good. So that first little blip, and then it's okay. Now we're going to shoot off the hip and figuring out how to roll with the punches. I think is a good thing to learn whenever you play the SRS game.
Well, now when you go, I should ask you that. Do you run more than one dog usually?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. So the rule in SRS is that you can run, for me, let's just take the amateur rule for an example. So I could run up to, say I own 6 dogs, I can run all 6 of mine plus 2 more that are not mine. Okay. But they cannot be a pro-owned dog. Okay. So, I couldn't take a dog that Clark Kennington owns and then go run it in the amateur. I'd have to run it in the pro. Okay. But I own 6. I have one that's retired. His name is Frisco. So for this year, as an example, I plan on running 3: Kane, Buzz, and Jester. Those will be my 3 main ones. And then we'll see how that goes. This will be Jester's first year breaking out into SRS, so I'm excited to see how that's going to happen. I think Owen Hall has done a really good job of training him up, and I'm ready to get behind the wheel and put him on the track.
Well, now, you said you're doing some field trials. Will you take that many to a field trial as well?
I usually take those 3, or I did this past. I ran one in Pavo, Georgia 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. Didn't do so well in the queue. Did what I thought was decent. I'm saying if I make it to the 3rd series and I open in an amateur, then I'm doing somewhat decent. Like I said, it's not a game that I've quite mastered. I don't know that you technically can master those, but I certainly think that it helps me for running SRS. So anytime you can go get line time, that's what I'm looking for, because I'm looking to learn.
Now, do you run hunt test also ever?
Yes, sir.
And is it HRC stuff?
Yes, sir. And I've run the Grand. Funny story, I've never run an AKC test in my life. I've never run a master test or anything like that. The only exposure I get to that where I'm holding a wooden gun is at an SRS. Okay.
Well, at the Grand, how'd you do? How have you done there?
So the first Grand I ever ran was spring of 2023, and I ran with Kane, and we went through on all 2, so got our first Grand Pass. The next year I came back and ran Kane and Buzz, went out in the 4 series with Kane. We were on 1s due to just series of events that happened, right? You probably should have lined him up more this way, put him in a better position for him to, when he established a hunt. So these are all things that I wasn't even thinking about years ago. Now I go back and I go, I should have done this or I should have done that. And
yeah,
it's just as much you as it is them.
Yes.
And I think whenever you run an event, whether it's a field trial, a hunt test, an SRS, everything happens within a 5-foot circumference around you at the line. they're not talking to you like I'm talking to you right now, but body language and figuring out how to read them, if you can figure that out, that is golden.
That's a huge key, ain't it, Lee? I mean, is reading your dog, I think.
Yes, sir. I think that is probably the most important thing that Justin Herder has ever taught me, is how to read a dog.
In your opinion, which is harder as a handler, the SRS or the Grand?
Oof. I think from a strategic standpoint, you have what I would consider some recovery in an SRS, meaning you may go out there and smack a field trial series and then have a really, really, really tough time in a hunt test scenario, but you've kind of gave yourself coming into a series with a little cushion. You don't really want to come in there. I mean, don't get me wrong. If I could go to one and just hammer every series, that's what I want to do. But I think at the Grand, expecting a dog to run flawless for 5 days with weather conditions changing. Now you're going to a new test site where all these, dead ducks have been thrown everywhere. And I think that for me, mentally, as a handler, getting through the Grand to me seems a little bit more tough. Just because, you have one mistake. You're given one set of ones. And then that determines the rest of your time there, unless you're towards the end and you get a set of ones. But coming out of the Grand, going on ones on the first day, mentally, that right there is going to mess. It would mess with me as a handler. Now, I will tell you, running the Crown, that is some mental pressure for sure. So,
well, what have you done in life that give you the ability to operate under pressure? Like, I mean, what have you had? Some sports or training or your job? How are you able to cope? Because that takes some skill. I get nervous, and I was a paratrooper. I was in the Army. I've done all kinds of crazy stuff, but I still get nervous at little old hunt tests. So I can't imagine the pressure at the Grand or the Crown. And it ain't like you've been doing this your whole life, running these tests. So what do you think gives you that edge? Because you have to there's something you've got that a lot of people don't have.
I think that, so I'm just going to tell you, I'm a very superstitious person, meaning like I'm going to wear on a Friday when I go to an SRS, I'm going to wear a certain outfit. Saturday's call for another kind of outfit. And if I make it to the finals, then I'm going to wear a certain kind of outfit. It's the same thing. I think consistency is a large portion of it. I have a good luck playlist that I listen to, and every dog has a song on this playlist. And before I get ready to run them, I'm listening to the song on the way there. AirPods are in. I'm humming it in the holding blind. And then probably the biggest thing for me with Kane, especially, is if you ever go back and you watch, you'll see every time before I run him, I'll do like this and pat my chest, and he'll jump up and give me a hug, and I'll pat his head and I'll whisper in his ear and I'll say, let's go be a team. And when I come out of that holding blind, that's my time up there. Everything back here is blocked out. I don't even know I'm so focused on what's happening in front of me right this second. Yeah. I couldn't tell you anything that's going on behind me. And I think if you can figure out a way to get in a zone where you block out the world and you live in the moment, that is what can help you. I don't know if that's because I used to shoot competitive sporting clays a long time ago. I was very big into that. And when everyone's watching you, there's pressure. There's pressure with an audience. There's an audience at an SRS. There's an audience at a Grand. Anywhere you go, even at a hunt test, people are watching. You've got to learn how to block out what's going on and just focus on you and your dog.
Leah, that might be some of the best advice, least handling advice I've ever had on this show. And number two, of all the people I've had on this show that are competitors in the dog world, you're the first person that's ever talked about their pre-run routine. That's really cool. Oh. Like the music, the clothing you wear. I mean, you're basically meditating. Almost.
100%. Yeah. 100%.
I love that. I mean, I'm just, I'm just sitting here thinking, what makes you different? Well, why are you so successful? And that's why I asked you that question. I thought it's not luck. You're not being lucky. You don't win 7 times in a year with luck in that sport. It's the hardest thing ever. So that's interesting.
It goes right down to feeding and airing my dogs. My dogs might be on a trailer with a bunch of other dogs, but Owen and Kevin and everybody knows if I'm running my dog, I'm going to feed my dog. I'm going to air my dog. Meaning, like, we travel in a group, and if Owen got to the trailer before me, he may go cut all of them out and just let them all. But he knows,
don't touch your dog.
Don't touch Leah's dog.
Yeah. You know, Leah, I had a little experience in the protection dog world and done some of that stuff years ago, and I still was doing it up till 6 months ago. But I've trained with guys and ladies that had protection dogs, and they wouldn't let anybody ever pet their dog. They want it to be that bad, like wicked, aggressive. And I remember, like, they wouldn't let anybody pet their dog. Even we were at the bike clubs, we just like retrieving clubs. We have bike clubs where we put on the suits and stuff. But no, that's neat. So you have, what else? What other things do you do like that before at a competition or before a competition?
So before a competition, the routine around here is we're gonna clean and wash the trailer. Obviously, we want to leave from here, so as much as I can help Owen get everything clean and packed and ready to go, or Justin or whoever, that's what we're gonna do. But my job for our group is I pack the snacks. I'm in charge of drinks and snacks, so that's how I know we're getting ready for. All right, it's time to get ready to go. Everybody's sending their snack order. I'm going to hit the grocery store, and then I'll be back, and we'll hit the road kind of thing.
I love it. Now, Jack, this sounds exciting. Do you get to go on any of these trips?
Yes, sir. I get to go on some of them.
Well,
not all of them.
Do you tell Miss Leah what kind of snacks pack for you?
Purina Pro Plan. Here at Gundog Nation, we use Purina Pro Plan for our dogs. We actually use the Sport Performance Edition, which is 30% protein and 20% fat, the beef and bison. It contains glucosamine, omega-3s for their joints. It also contains amino acids for muscles and antioxidants. And it also has probiotics. It's guaranteed to have live probiotics in each serving. There's no artificial colors or flavors. We see the difference in our dogs. We see the difference in their coat, their performance, their endurance, and also in recovery. Be sure to use Purina Pro Plan dog food. The reputation speaks for itself. There's a reason that Purina has been around for such a long time. We suggest that you use it, and we are so proud to be sponsored by Purina Dog Food. When you're getting ready to go on your next hunting trip, make sure you pack the most efficient and reliable ammunition on the market. Migra Ammunition brings you the most diverse loads on the market. Migra's patented stacked load technology is the epitome of efficiency. 2 shot sizes stacked together to create the most diverse and efficient line of shot shells in the industry. It doesn't matter what flyway, what state, or what the weather, the standard remains the same. At Migra, reliable loads that perform in any condition every single time. We're proud to have Migra Ammunition as a sponsor for Gundog Nation.
Yes, sir. We don't. When I go with stuff for her, I don't think when I go on a field trial with her, I don't think I've ever been out of double.
Okay.
Tell her your thing is good drinks.
And what
so Jack and I, we share what's called good drinks, and you buy them at Walmart. They're the Clearwater brand, and it's just sparkling water, like strawberry, orange flavored.
Yeah.
And I took Jack fishing one time, and I won't lie, I was drinking a cold beer, and I was like, "You want a good drink?" And he's like, looked at me. I said, "It's not beer. Do you want a good drink?" And I handed him this drink, and he drank it, and it's 0 sugar, 0 calorie, but you wouldn't know it drinking it. He's like, "This is good." And so now the thing is, he'll walk up and he'll go, "You got any good drinks?"
Well, I'm gonna go try me one of those. I haven't. I don't think I've even seen. If I've seen, I didn't pay attention. But I need
Yeah, they're in the water, in the drink aisle, and they'll be over there with the flavored waters. So.
Okay.
Clear American, I think, is the brand. It's the Walmart brand.
Okay.
Clear American. Yeah.
I've had that clearly. Is it clearly Canadian water?
Something
like that.
I'm not sure. But if you look, you were asking earlier, and I want to throw this out there. I highly encourage everybody to pick a song for their dog. Like Kane's song is Keep On Rolling by King George. And if you look on the side of all my handler jackets and everything, it says Keep On Rolling on the sleeves of all my jackets. And that's kind of our motto whenever, like if Kevin goes to an event and I'm not there, my way of saying good luck to Kevin is keep on rolling. And he'll say it back to me. Or we'll have our group chat going on, and that's what we'll tell everybody, keep on rolling, you know.
Well, you got to educate me now. How do you pick your dog's song?
I feel like it'll just kind of come to you. Buzz's song is like a remix song of like Red Hot Chili Peppers and 50 Cent. And my dog Frisco, his song was Welcome to the Jungle because it was a wild ride whenever he was fixing around him. But you know, I think it kind of comes to you.
Okay. I can see that. Now you give me all kinds of ideas to try. I thought the recording got slow, but I think we're good now. Y'all can hear me, can't you?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Jack, was you going to ask me something?
No, sir.
Okay. I thought you was going to ask me a question. Well, now, Leah, I know that you have a time constraint, right? You have to be doing something at 6 o'clock Eastern?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Tell people, how can everyone, let's just say, hopefully there are young people, older people, ladies that want to reach out to you and ask you questions that hear this podcast. How would they, what's the best way to reach out to you that you would prefer?
I would prefer if folks wanted to reach out to me to talk to me about dogs or anything to reach out through Facebook. You'd send me a message on Facebook. I'm pretty quick. You've shot me a couple messages on there. I'm pretty quick to respond. And if I'm not the type that I'm not going to respond to you, I promise. If you send me a message, if I can't get to it right then, I will get back to you. Okay.
All right. Now, Jack, I know you're awful young, but are you on social media?
No, sir.
Okay, that's probably a good thing. I'm all for that. I'm on there because I have to be.
Almost every kid in my school has social media. I'm not one.
I like that. I love that. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Well, you've got your head on straight, young man. I'm pretty impressed. Hopefully one of these days we might get to meet.
Maybe so.
One of these yeah. I'll be closer to y'all here in about a month or so. How far are y'all from Nashville?
We're about 6 hours from Nashville, but how far are you from Rhodey Best's place?
I was working a project over there, I think, and I've driven that so much. I think it's 4 hours or less, maybe 3.5. So yeah, because I'm too. Now I was in Midland, which is way out west. Now my ranch is down near a town called Menard. And so I'm 2 hours and a half from Austin. He's only about another 45 minutes from Austin, maybe 50. So it's under 4 hours.
I got you.
Have you
so
been
we're coming out there he's asked me and Justin to judge one of his SRS events. So he puts on a doubleheader type thing. So we're going to run one and then judge one. So I've never been to Rhodey's place or ran an SRS in Texas. So that'll be something new and fun for 2026.
It's beautiful. He has a beautiful grounds out there. I've run a hunt test out there, and I actually did my AKC started judge internship there. And then he's got a dog of mine out there right now. I've got a Floyd son.
Okay.
And he's trying to correct some habits that I let him get away with in hunting season. So he's trying to fix it. And then hopefully when I get him back, I could build from there. But no, he's got a beautiful place. So have you been to Texas yet, either one of y'all?
I've been to Texas, but never to run a dog event. It's usually been traveling for work.
Okay. As you probably know, it's so like West Texas, it's just so different from where Rhodey's at. Rhodey's got water and green, and West Texas is desert. And my ranch is kind of in the middle. Like I have cactus and stuff here. It's dry, but I have trees, unlike pure West Texas, no trees. It's like mesquite. Anyway, well, no, actually, when is the SRS at Rhodey's this year one of them?
Yes, sir.
Do you know
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I don't have. I had a calendar in here or the brochure from the Crown that I could look, but I don't have putting some Christmas stuff up. But and speaking of Christmas, I do want to give a shout out to Jack. Actually, 2 years ago, this goes back to my superstitious type stuff. Jack made a lead for me that I wear. So whenever I'm running an SRS and we're running a series that doesn't require duck call, Jack handmade my lead for my whistle. And so ever since that's really when that's why I tell him he's my good luck charm all the time. I tell him I got my special lead on that holds my whistle.
I like it. You two are a good team.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
you two are.
It's my buddies.
Well, listen, I know y'all are busy, Jack. It's been a privilege having the youngest person ever on my podcast. So now you can tell people that you were on the podcast and you are the youngest person that's ever been on mine.
Well, thank you.
And you speak very well for a young man.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, hey, Leah, thank you all so much. We got to do this again. I know you're crunched for time, and I didn't give you a lot of notice. But let's do this again, maybe back up in the summer after you've competed again, and let's check your status, see how it's going.
Yes, sir. Well, first off, I want to thank you very, very much for the time and having me on, and I appreciate it. And if you don't mind, how can I tell people to go listen to this? I see you're on Spotify, but
yes, ma'am. So Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music, and Amazon has that Audible, like download books and stuff. I didn't know that you can find it on there, but those are and then it's really good. Like what y'all can do for both of you, Jack, too, is it's on YouTube. So when it comes out on YouTube, the video, you can actually see what we see. But on the Spotify stuff, obviously you don't see it. It's just audio, only. So, and the YouTube gets a big, I for some reason, we get a big following in other countries for YouTube.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. But, so yeah. And then we put clips, like I'll take clips of this, like little 2-minute segments of maybe Jack's talking about something or Leah, you talking about something. And I'll post that on all my social media. It seems to do real well. I'm trying to do that more now. My son helps me do that some, and I do some of them. And anyway, it helps the podcast.
Well, good deal. Well, I would love to be back on whenever you're ready. And I really, really, really appreciate you taking the time to let me share my story a little bit about myself and my dog and how we've gotten to be where we are today. I'm very grateful. Well,
I love it. And it's been a privilege. And Jack, next time I get y'all on here, I want to hear about you getting a season title on one of your dogs.
Thank you.
Does that sound good?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, you two have a Merry Christmas.
Say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Miss Kids, and a Happy New Year.
All right. Thank you all so much.
Yes, sir. You too.
Hello, this is Kenneth Witt with Gundog Nation, and I'd like to encourage all you listeners and viewers on our YouTube channel to check out patreon.com/Gundog Nation. For $10 a month, you can become a member of our community, and we'll have access to lots of stuff. Mainly, we'll do a monthly forum, an open forum, where you can ask me anything Gundog related, and we'll learn from each other in the community. Should be a lot of fun each month. We will do that. So check it out, patreon.com/Gundog Nation.